I'm joined by head women's golf coach Katie Futcher as her team will be starting the spring half of its season on Monday in the Linda Lowery Invitational out in Lakeway, Texas, where Concordia of Texas will serve as the host institution. Coach, how have you been?
Great. We've been in season now for about 3 weeks, so we've had a couple of really good weeks of practice, which has been nice. A little bit rainy the past couple weeks, but we've been able to get outside, so it's nice. It's really nice to get the ball rolling here and have our first competitive event of the spring.
What's the difference with you working indoors in the facility versus going outside and getting to see how the wind or the conditions will play with the ball?
Yeah, indoor, you can only do so much indoors, and sometimes when we work indoors for an extended period of time, we tend to get really technical with what we're working on, and that for me is kind of a red flag. So try to only spend about an hour a day inside, just to kind of really limit that technical work, but also inside really try to work on routine. How much time we're spending over the ball, so we can kind of narrow down those things. But it is, golf is played outside, so whenever we can get outside, we're getting outside today, and we've got to be outside, and they're actually getting on the course today too. So ramping up our, playing, being actually on the course right before our tournament starts is important too, to kind of get us in play mode. So yeah, it's nice that we have a facility where we can do some indoor work, but we tend to get really technical indoors.
And before we get into a discussion about the upcoming tournament, how was your full first off season?
Yeah, it was quite long. It was 3 months in between when we stopped our season in the fall and when we began practicing January 29th. I think the girls, had a good break. Some of them continued to practice in the off season, which is certainly something that I'm looking for as a coach, a commitment for them to be working on their game in the off season, even if I can't, make them practice. So that's certainly something that was really great for me to see in our young new players, that they wanted to continue practicing. But yeah, we're ready to go. The off season, in my opinion, is way too long. It was just dragging on. So I'm really excited, like I said, for us to start playing this weekend and having 3 weeks of practice under our belt.
And we talked earlier about how you can't practice with your athletes in the off season, and you can only have academic meetings and stuff of that nature. And have you seen any maturation of your ladies in that sense, just off the course?
100%. Yeah, I think, again, I mentioned it a couple times in a few interviews in the fall. They're going through this whole process on their own as freshmen. They don't have any upperclassmen to really, get any information from or have that upperclassman leadership. So I think they've grown 100%. They know what they need to do in terms of their time management a little bit better. They're having team group study sessions. So yes, I would say they're on the right track. They're doing much better. Yeah.
And now turning our attention to next week's tournament, Concordia will be welcoming Emory, the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor, Howard Payne University, and Southwestern University to compete at the Yaupon Golf Course. What can you tell us, if anything, about those teams, maybe?
Yeah, it's their competition that we don't ever see. Most of those teams are from the region of Texas. I'm looking forward to playing those teams. I know there's a couple good teams there. So there's not much that I can tell you other than the fact that we never see them.
Right.
But yeah, looking forward to the tournament.
And do you have any familiarity with the golf course itself, or will you be learning the layout as you go?
I have never played the course, but I do hear that the course is very unique in its layout. One of my players at James Madison, it's her family's home golf course, so her father is actually going to come and walk with us during the practice round and kind of give us some cues as to where to hit it. But I think there are several blind shots, which always make for an interesting round. But the important, the thing that we talked about with the team yesterday in a team meeting is making sure that we really utilize that practice round, making sure that we're taking good notes, and making sure that we're understanding where the wind is and what our line is, and so being as best prepared as we can, because that is something that is within our control. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. Like I said, I think the players are really excited to get the season started.
And how is that process of working through a practice round? Do you encourage your golfers to practice and play their shots as if it were a real round, or do you ask them to kind of put themselves in specific scenarios that they might find themselves in competition?
Sure, yeah. Every player is a little bit different. I do like the mentality of kind of having some pressure on the shot and finishing the hole, but certainly around the greens, and if they're uncomfortable off the tee, totally fine with them hitting another tee shot. But around the greens, we switch it up. Even holes, we might do some more chipping and pitching around the greens, and odd holes, we might do more putting, long putts. I never let them hit to the pin that's actually cut, because that pin is not going to be there for the tournament rounds. So my assistant actually walks ahead and takes the pin out, and stands at potential other locations where we think the pin might be. They can putt to the hole if it's inside 4 feet, but I don't like them putting to that hole in general, period. So yeah, we just kind of plot ourselves around and see where, the best place to attack certain pin positions and things of that nature. So the practice round is actually the most important thing that we can do to prepare ourselves. Absolutely.
Again, this has been head women's golf coach Katie Futcher, recapping her and her team's offseason and previewing the Linda Lowery Invitational, which is set to start on a Monday. Coach, thanks for your time and good luck out there.
Thank you.